right, brand new class, brand new semester. All right, today in our Elements of Cooking Techniques class, Introduction to Cooking Techniques class, we're going to talk about salad dressings today. Very important skill to have in the kitchen is to be able to make cold sauces. Salad dressings are basically cold sauces. And this is a great skill to have because at the last minute, you can whip up a cold sauce. You can always add something not only to a salad, we're going to examine salad dressings today, but you can always add something to vegetables, grilled vegetables, or fish, or anything that you can make at the last minute that doesn't need to be cooked. So cold sauces are what we're talking about today. Salad dressings. And what do? The purpose of them is to flavor, moisten, and enrich. Why do you add a sauce to anything, for that matter? To flavor, moisten, and enrich. Hot sauce, cold sauce serves basically the same principle. There are three categories of cold sauces. Anytime I start writing three categories, we have a list of something that's primed for a question on a test. Trust me. First is oil and vinegar dressings. Oil and vinegar dressings, we call them vinaigrettes. V-I-N-A-I-G-R-E-T-T-E, vinaigrette. Learn how to spell that word. It'll pop up again and again. Vinaigrette. I see it misspelled on menus all over the world. Well, not the world. Always misspelled. First, oil and vinegar, vinaigrettes. Second, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise-based dressings. Mayonnaise-based dressings use what's called an emulsification. We're going to talk about that in a minute. An emulsification is the mixing of two unmixable items. Is taking oil and vinegar, which don't normally mix, somehow getting them to mix. And we'll talk about how you do that in a minute, emulsification. And the third type are cooked dressings. Cooked dressings. I just said these are cold sauces, so why do I put the word cooked dressing in there? Well, one of the things that we need with any kind of sauce is for it to stick to the food, right? You don't want to put a sauce on food or on your salad and then it's all on the bottom of the plate. You ever get a plate in a restaurant like that? You're finished with your food and all this sauce sloshing around because it's not thick enough. It hasn't stick to food. A cooked dressing is going to be cooked on the stove and chilled so that it will stick to food. Really what we want to do is use that heat to thicken it. And what I'm going to show you today, what you'll be doing with a white French dressing, is using a cornstarch slurry to thicken some liquid. All right. Let's talk about basic ingredients in a dressing. There are some basic ingredients that must be in just about every dressing. Here's the big problem with cold sauces. The big problem is that the flavors are not altered by heat. And this is a very important aspect to it. When we put something on the stove, we render fats. We break down the texture of onions. We release moisture from mushrooms. The heat brings all these flavors together. In something that's cold, that is not cooked, you need to use the best ingredients possible, because it's not going to be cooked, because these flavors don't come together. A very important aspect in making basic dressings is use the best ingredients possible. Use best ingredients. That sounds like a test question also. Use the best ingredients possible because they will not be cooked. Very important. Since flavors are not modified by cooking, the quality of your end result directly depends on the quality of the ingredients. But I would always tell you to use the best ingredients possible. Not like, you don't have to worry about that. You can use some crappy ingredients for that. But the point here is that the cooking will not change the essence or flavors of the ingredients because a cold sauce has no cooking. Most dressings are primarily oil, acid, and flavor, or seasoning. Oil, acid, and flavor. The three elements that make up a salad dressing. Another great test question. What are the three elements that make up a salad dressing? Again, the point I'm trying to get across to you is these items are uncooked. You don't have an opportunity to combine flavors. You must use the best ingredients. So the difference between a corn oil white distilled vinegar dressing versus a walnut sherry dressing sounds a lot more interesting, right? Oil, acid, flavor.